Hello everyone. Today is your class number 25. Today is your class number 25 for EMFT. Okay. So last day I have discussed that the boundary condition for two electrostatic system. Okay, that means we are taking two electrostatic system having a common boundary, and to satisfy the characteristics equation for these two electrostatic system, we have to find some important conditions. There are three conditions. Okay, so these three conditions can be modified by if we replace one electrostatic field to one dielectric field, and if we replace the one electrostatic field in case of by free space. Okay, so in your syllabus there are two more boundary conditions. Two types of boundary conditions are there for two types of system, two different types of system. So first one, write boundary condition under that same topic, that will be topic number 18. It will be Roman 2. Okay, boundary condition for one electrostatic and another dielectric system. That in one electrostatic, maybe sometimes it can be called conductor dielectric system. Conductor dielectric system, because the conductor can be treated as an electrostatic system and the dielectric one is nothing but is dielectric. So this type of statement can also be asked instead of one electrostatic and another dielectric. This type of comments or this type of question. Okay, so here you can write that for dielectric, so let us consider first system be a conductor and second system be a dielectric. Okay, so first system be a conductor and second system be a dielectric. So the charge density, right, the charge density rho for second system will be 0, right? So therefore epsilon 2 should be 0. So rho should, if 0, then epsilon 2 is the permittivity, right? Permittivity. So there is no permittivity, that means no flux will passing through that medium. So that means epsilon 2 should be 0. So now for the first condition, if we put this epsilon 2 will be 0. So what was the first condition? Your first condition will be, your boundary first condition will be ET1 equals to ET2, right? ET1 equals to ET2. And what is your ET1? And ET1 equals to epsilon, or you can write ET1 means DT1 equals to DT2 also. It will be same, because we know D equals to E into epsilon. So actually D equals to E equals to D by epsilon, right? DT1 by epsilon 1 equals to DT2 by epsilon 2. Okay, so now just put over this equation, epsilon 2 equals to 0. Then what happened? DT1 by epsilon 1 equals to infinity, right? So that means what? That means ET1, that means this epsilon 1 should have infinity. So that is the first condition is this one. Okay, first condition is this one. Okay, this is your first condition. Or you can write ET1 should be infinity. So these two are the same expression. This is your first condition. Okay, so second condition, if epsilon 2 equals to 0, then what is the second condition? Second condition will be dn2 minus dn1 equals to rho s, right? It was the second information. Or dn2 means epsilon en2 minus epsilon en1, or epsilon 2 epsilon 1 en1 equals to rho s. So if we put over here 0, then epsilon 1 into en1 equals to negative sign of rho s, and en1 equals to negative rho s by epsilon 1. This is your second boundary condition. Okay, and what was the third boundary condition? Third boundary condition is tan theta 1 by tan theta 2 equals to epsilon 1 by epsilon 2. It was, right? So if we put epsilon 2 over here, so then tan theta 1 by tan theta 2 equals to infinity. That means tan theta 1 equals to infinity, and tan theta 2 or tan theta 2 equals to 0. So these two odd type condition will be your condition number 3. Okay, so these are the three conditions for boundary conditions for one electrostatic and another dielectric system. Okay, so your now the third condition, that will be conductor free space. So conductor free space, right? So conductor free space, so let conduct for one conductor, let another free space. Okay, so conductor free space, this Roman 3. Okay, so let us consider first system be a conductor, second system be a free space or vacuum. Okay, so no required to write this line. So what will be the change now? There is only one change. That means in your first condition, what was your first condition? The first condition will be ET1 equals to ET2, right? And that means second system will be a free space. That means DT1 by epsilon 1 equals to DT2 by epsilon 2. Okay, and here epsilon 2 equals to nothing but your constant value epsilon naught, which has a value 8.85 into 10 to the minus 12 unit. Okay, so 8.85, so put it in, will be 0. So dt1 by epsilon 1 equals to dt2 by 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12, right? And in case of free space, this is a constant one, that is dt1 by epsilon 1 equals to constant. So this is your first condition. This is your first condition. Okay, this is your first condition. And second condition is dn2 minus dn1 equals to rho s. So second condition, dn2 minus dn1 equals to rho s, right? So dn2 means similarly it will be epsilon naught en2 minus epsilon 1 en1 equals to rho s, and similarly it is a constant one, so that means epsilon 1, that means epsilon 1 into en1 equals to epsilon naught en2 minus rho s, so a constant minus rho s, or en1 equals to should be divided by epsilon 1, so it should be this one again a constant. Suppose this constant taken as k minus rho s by epsilon 1. Okay, so it will be the boundary condition for second boundary condition for conductor free space. Okay, and third boundary condition will be tan theta 1 by tan theta 2 equals to epsilon 1 by epsilon 2, it should be epsilon naught, and tan theta 1 by tan theta 2 equals to constant. Because for a particular medium epsilon 1 is constant, so this term remains constant. So if tan theta 1 equals to or proportional to tan theta 2, that means theta 1 proportional to theta 2. Because this is multiplication constant, so next line we can write into tan theta 2, and this constant is nothing but taken in outside, so it will becomes a positive proportional sign. Okay, so this is your third condition. So these three conditions for your conductor free space part, and so this is your 18th number of topic, and the last topic for this module will be last topic, not last but one topic, that is 19th number topic will be topic number 19, capacitance. So what is capacitance? So capacitance is, right, first capacitance is a property by virtue of which a embedded system containing an embedded system containing two subsystems separated by a dielectric, thus to store an electric energy in the system. That means capacitance in case of your field theory, according to field theory, you are taking this is a system and this system have two subsystems, right? Suppose we are taking these two subsystems and this system have some positive charge over here, okay, and these systems have some negative charge over here, okay, and these the remaining part are dielectric. Remaining part is the dielectric, okay, rests are dielectric. So two subsystems having some some positive or negative charges are separated by a dielectric, and the whole system is called the capacitance. Okay, this is the property actually. This is the property, and in case of your electric network concept, you can write it as a positive, negative. Okay, so this positive is nothing but this one, and this negative is nothing but this one, and separated by a dielectrics. Okay, so this system can be treated as a capacitance. Okay, so next, right, according to the definition of capacitance, capacitance can be defined as C equals to capital Q by V naught. C equals to capital Q by V naught. That is the ratio of the magnitude of the total charge on either conductor. Always remember, it has plus Q, it will be minus Q. So the sum of plus Q and minus Q will be 0. But you cannot treat it as a Q over here. Okay. So all time the algebraic sum of two conductor plates of a capacitor will be always 0. Okay. But you have to take this Q as a either system. Okay. Charge of an either system. Okay. So next, right. So total charge on either conductor to the magnitude of the potential difference between two conductors. That is, if we apply a voltmeter over here, then it will give some reading voltage difference. So what is the voltage difference? We have to take in the denominator part. Okay, so right, that means what is the Q for according to this field theory concept? Q is nothing but closed surface integration epsilon into E vector over ds. Okay, right, this is your, suppose you are taking a surface integration, so it is a surface, right? So you are taking a surface integration, so this is your according to Gauss's theorem. Okay, so by applying the Gauss's theorem we can write Q equals to this one, right? Q equals to closed surface integration d dot ds, which will be equals to epsilon into E vector into ds vector, which is nothing but by according to Gauss's theorem. Okay, according to Gauss's theorem. Okay, so divided by what is V? So according to the definition, this V will be integration of E dot dl, right? Close the integration of E dot dl with a negative sign, or you can need not to provide a close the integration. This normal integration will give your voltage. Okay, so according to the field theory, this will be the definition of C. Okay, this is the expression of C. So integration of E vector over a closed surface and integration of that E vector in a line. Okay, which inscribed this surface. Okay, so under this topic, there is capacitance. There is a another one, that is a, right, the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. So you have to find the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. Okay, so parallel plate capacitor means, so actually what is a parallel plate capacitor? First you have to understand the parallel plate capacitor. Okay, okay, so suppose it is a parallel plate capacitor. So this plate, this is a plate and it will be a plate. Okay, suppose it is a parallel plate capacitor. Okay, so distance between this parallel plate capacitor should be considered D, because the distance of the capacitor should be D, and the surface area of this capacitor will be S. Okay, and we are taking plus Q charge over here and minus Q charge over here. Okay, so we have to take this type of concepts first. Okay, so then according to the definition, where E equals to what? E equals to rho S by epsilon into Az cap, right? From the previous concepts we have derived it. The intensity due to a surface charge system, intensity due to a surface charge system. Okay, and D equals to what? D equals to a rho S into Az cap. Why? Because we are taking it in along Z axis. Suppose we are taking it as Z axis. Okay, it is Z axis. So along Z axis we are taking the surface. So what will be your V naught equals to minus integration of E into dl. Okay, so E into dl means rho S by epsilon naught, we are taking it in air medium, into rho S into epsilon into dl. So what will be the dl? Your dl is nothing but from left to right. So you have to taking the voltage difference between left to right, so it will be dl. So it is nothing but from left to right, the distance will be d. So after integration you have rho s d by epsilon naught, v naught equals to minus rho s by epsilon naught. Okay, or actually from left to right, so if we consider it is on 0 and it will be d, so right will be d, so upper limit minus lower limit, so it will be negative sign of rho s by epsilon naught. Okay, so this is your V naught, and Q equals to rho s into s, right? Rho s into s, if we consider this Q, so it is a charge surface charge density rho s. This rho s into total surface area will be s, rho s into s. Okay, so V naught equals to what? So C equals to what? Q by V naught. C equals to Q by V naught. What will be your Q? Rho s by into s by rho s into d by epsilon naught. So cancel out rho s, so it will be epsilon naught s by d. So capacitance of two parallel plate capacitor will be rho epsilon naught into s into divided by d. Okay, with a negative sign, or you can, if we apply the modular sign, then it will be the positive. Okay, so this is your intensity capacitance for a parallel plate capacitor. Just you can apply this formula, right? And this formula, according to it, we are taking it in along z axis, so applying these two, we can get this voltage now and Q. Okay, so voltage by Q, it will give your capacitance. Okay, as simple as that. Okay, so today's class up to this much. Next day I will start from the topic number 20, which will be the last topic of this module. Okay, so please wait for next day. I will finish this module.